Good morning, family and friends of Setting Yourself Free with Katie Huff Ministries. I am excited today to have Dr. Spurrill, our expert that is going to keep us healthy and healing from Synapse Center, the Center for Healing and Health. And you need to go and get a discovery call with him. And you need to do that by going there to officialsynapse.com and click on that discovery call so you can have a personalized 30 minutes with him to find out what your needs are and how you can have a better life through health and healing. So thank you, Dr. Spurrill, for being here. I want to make sure that everybody knows where to find us. So you need to go to Spotify, you need to go to YouTube, you need to go to Facebook, you need to go to X and Instagram. We're everywhere because this information is too good for you to miss. So please follow me on katy-huff.com and subscribe to there and YouTube. So thank you, Dr. Spurrill, and for all that you're doing for me and for everyone that is tapping into this. We're getting great comments about the information that you've been sharing, which is awesome. So thank you so much for your heart to serve and to help people to just have an incredible life through healing and letting our bodies fix themselves versus having prescriptions for the most part, if I could say that. So
yeah, absolutely. No, love doing this. Love educating, love talking health and wellness, and God, those are my three favorite things to talk about. So
yes. And God is good all the time.
yes.
And so we were talking about what we should talk about today. And as you all know, we are in the dead of summer and the temperatures are up, and obviously people are getting a lot of vitamin D and they need to protect themselves getting too much from the sun, but also hydration, because it's interesting. We were talking about there's very few people that obviously get enough fluids, especially in this season. So how would you like to start with talking about that?
Well, hydration is actually very, very important, as many people know. If you've ever been dehydrated, if you ever have muscle cramps, you know how painful those can be. But a lot of people don't really know that their immune system is dependent on hydration as well. So all of our immune cells have to swim in water in our system. We're 60 to 70% water. And so it's important for us to stay hydrated. And I'm just going to go through just a few basic scenarios. Number one, a lot of times it is how much you drink, but some people will drink too much water and flush out their electrolytes. So it's not really how much you drink, it's how much you retain and where you retain the water.
Mm.
And then it is, what is the water doing for you? So first and foremost, we want to have clean drinking water. If you're drinking water that is from a city tap that's got chlorine in it, the chlorine can actually decrease your iodine internally inside your body. And iodine, especially if you live not central to the coastline. So if you're in central United States, Canada, Mexico, you're not necessarily getting the iodine from the ocean like you should be. And so it's really important to just recognize that the quality of the water is very, very important. So chlorine can be really bad for you. And so the water source we like clean as much as possible. Now, the second thing is if you're drinking a lot of water and just peeing it out, that's not really helping you. We've got to get the water into the muscles, into your organs, more importantly. So the water will always follow the minerals, the electrolytes. That's why electrolytes are so important.
Mm.
So if your cells are closed off and the minerals can't get in, the water doesn't get in. So if you're just drinking 80, 90 ounces and you're peeing it out, you don't feel like it actually gets into your cells, then there's something going on that's blocking the ability of the minerals to get inside the cells themselves. And that can be anything from stress to sleep disorders to infection or inflammation. So if you're holding water in the wrong positions in your lymph system, then that's also a sign there's a little bit of imbalance. So it's not just, are you drinking enough? That's step one. But where is it going? So we want to use our muscles for the water to get into the muscles, and we want to be able to have the electrolytes, like I said, be able to get inside the cells. So that becomes very, very important, getting those electrolytes where they should be.
So how would someone be able to monitor that? By their urine output or the color of their urine, obviously?
Yep. So good question. So the color of their urine is one way. So if it's very just light and there's no color to it at all, you're probably not, you're probably just drinking it and getting rid of it, or over consuming. If
Mm.
your urine is dark and you haven't and golden and you haven't been taking like the antioxidants supplements, because B vitamins will color your urine as well. So just be aware of that.
Yes, I can attest to that.
And that's okay. It's a good
Complex.
thing. Yes,
It's like, wow, that's pretty color.
that's right.
It's very
But
golden.
if you haven't been drinking water and you're dehydrated, you're going to see a couple changes with the urine. It gets darker, it gets more like tea colored, gold, orange, even sometimes. So that's not a good sign. Another one is your skin. So if you pinch your skin and it's kind of crepey and you can drag it, pull it up there, then that's also a sign that you're not getting water where you need it to go.
Yeah, so
Uh,
kind of like
I'm
a hint,
yeah, yeah.
that hint that comes up.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So those are two ways you can kind of tell if you're hydrating. The other thing is if you drink water and you actually can feel it, you can actually feel it getting into your cells and organs. It kind of brings your brain alive. That's also a good sign it's getting into your cells. One of the things I like to do is it's very healthy for us to sweat.
Mm,
So I like sweating for everyone during the summertime because that pulls the water through your entire system. You want water to flow everywhere. So you want to be sweating. Sweating is such a good way to detoxify. It's a natural way to detoxify. And so replenishing your water after sweating is so good. So some people in the wintertime will do like the hot saunas,
mm.
things of that nature. I have people though that will go into a sauna and can't sweat. That's a bad sign.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
if you are in the heat and you don't sweat, that means there's a breakthrough that has to happen. I strongly encourage you to start working on your muscles, on your lymph, on your skin. So dry brushing, massage, deep massage, get a massager yourself, and then try and work on your capacity to increase your extra exercise so that you are actually getting to the point of sweating. Because sweating is crucial for movement of water through the skin. It's actually one of the ways that we protect our skin from skin cancer. It's
Mm,
better than better than sunblock when it comes to protecting the skin when you're sweating.
wow.
Because
That's
your immune system will protect your skin if it can get there, but it has to be able to swim to get there. The only way it can swim to get there is if there's water to get there. So you want to stay as hydrated as possible on your skin as much as possible.
right. I remember us talking about how important sweating is when it came to just feeling sick. And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't think about working out when they are sick.
Yep. Yeah.
And and that obviously is almost counterintuitive
Yeah.
versus laying on the couch.
Right. So I'll work out when I'm sick. It's easier when you're in your 20s than it is in your 50s, 60s, and beyond. And workout is a relative term. It could be as much as getting up and walking around. You always have to pay attention to the fever and stuff, though. So there's a certain point once you start getting over 103 fever, different story. Your body needs to rest,
Mm.
for sure. But if you're working out and you can kind of speed up the process of your immune system by hydrating and staying active, physically active.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you were saying, brought up sunscreen. What are your thoughts in regards to how the sunscreen not allowing the sun, obviously, to penetrate the skin? And obviously, I've had people say, don't wear sunscreen, do wear sunscreen, and especially at this time of the year where it's so hot. I know that this all kind of plays together with the sunscreen, the vitamin D, the sweating, the hydration, all of it kind of is in one
Yeah.
little ball, right?
Well, so I'm one of those people. This is got a whole dynamic to it. So I'm against sunscreen for the most part. I think sunscreen does more damage than good because people don't understand what it's for. So I know this. We're not meant to fear anything but God himself. So we're not meant to fear skin cancer. So that's point number one. Number two, sunscreen blocks vitamin D. And we need vitamin D absorption for a lot of things. So we know definitively that low vitamin D increases your likelihood of most every cancer and autoimmune disease.
Mm,
So we have to keep a good vitamin D. So you could avoid the sun, you could use sunscreen, and you could end up taking vitamin D and doing okay that way. So I'm okay with that. Number two, um, it's not really the sun that's causing the problems. It's always been there. The sun has always been the sun, basically. And we have people who are out in the sun all the time who even today don't get skin cancer.
mm,
And so you have to ask yourself why. More apt and more problematic is our lifestyle.
mm,
So we have become dehydrated. We have put in a whole bunch of environmental toxins that actually congest our lymph system, that
mm,
doesn't allow our immune system to come to the skin. So in a perfect world, we could still have the UV rays that we have. We could still have everything. Our immune system is equipped to actually take cancer and defeat it all
yes.
the time. But if we're exposed to too many things, which we are quite a bit, then that can become problematic. So here's the caveat to the sunscreen statement. If you decide not to use sunscreen, which I do, I will only put sunscreen on my nose and my ears for the most part, and I will work on the rest of my body to keep it as healthy as possible. Now, I'm against cancer. I'm
Mm,
against sunburns. I still don't want you to get burnt. So shade yourself as best you can with hats, umbrellas, that type of thing. And at the same time, one of the best things that can help you not get burnt is oils.
mm,
Get rid of the seed oils and bring in things like coconut oil.
mm.
So even with my European, Irish, English, Welsh blood, Scottish, Irish, English, Welsh blood, I'm like
I can
prone
relate.
to, yes. So when I switched gears from um, basically bad oils, I'm going to call it, to just coconut oil.
Mm,
All of a sudden, 2 years later, I'd go in the sun, I start getting tan. Whereas before that, I would just turn pink.
mm,
So that would be in my late 30s that I made that transition to coconut oil and using it a lot more. And it made a significant difference. And so staying hydrated, and then some people don't convert their vitamin D as well. So getting rid of the seed oils, anything that's from a seed, is going to have higher inflammatory oils. And if we can keep our oils, which most of our membranes in our skin and just in our body are phospholipid, that's good oils. So olive oil, avocado oil, even the coconut oil, like I said. And I'll put oils on my skin, not before going out in the sun, but put it on my skin to help also with the immune system getting there. So hydration and the oils kind of come together when it comes to protecting yourself. So if our environment was cleaner and
mm.
we were healthier because we exercised, sweating more, if we were working the land like we were meant to before out in the sun, we actually would be protected more.
Wow.
So I'm not fully against sunscreen. I will use it. I'm against mothers and fathers putting sunscreen on their young children to prevent burns, um, and just slathering the whole body. Now we can get um, some areas covered with sunscreen, and that's okay, and protect and still get out in the sun. We need exposure to sun. We need that all the time. It's very, very important for the kids, especially, to be in the sun and get sun.
Right, right. Interesting. Because you do see people, head to toe with their little ones, and
Yep.
that's always interesting because, well, I think what it all comes down to is what we've already kind of talked about, but it's a continual concern is fear.
Yeah.
Fear of sunburns, fear of cancer, fear of, not working out when you're not feeling well, not hydrating enough. I mean, fear is a liar.
Yeah.
And obviously, the way we come from is from the pit of hell. And
Yes.
and I say fear is the false evidence appearing real. And God has a plan, and he's our great protector and provider, but he, and gives us free will.
Yes. Yep.
So
Absolutely.
this fear thing, and yet it all kind of, it's almost like 1 + 1 = 2 + 1 plus, it's everything adds up.
Yeah. It does. And there's a component we're not meant to live in fear. And also um, we may perish for lack of knowledge. So basically,
Mhm.
uh, we are given a lot of information now. So you have to discern through the information in science. Is it good science? Is it good? If God made it, it's good. If man changed it, beware. And so
Mhm.
there's a lot of things, and the sun is one of those things that God made. And so there's a lot of arguments over, global warming and all this other stuff. Well, we're starting to see some things come out now scientifically that are coming against what people have been saying for a long time. So there's a lot to kind of discern through there. So you always go through the filter of how God made it first, and then build from that. But you don't want to necessarily dismiss things outwardly as far as new information. So that's why, like one of the things I'll say right now with the information we have, if you use sunscreen, number one, don't use the toxic sunscreen. Like you're putting some people, these have these SPF blocks of 100, and they've got chemicals in them, man-made chemicals that you're putting right on your skin, and they're toxic. So they're congesting and clogging your pores of your skin, making your system more prone to becoming damaged. And so that is a problem in its own right. So there are healthier versions of sunscreen
Mhm.
that are more organic, that are more natural, more soothing, things like that contain aloe plants and stuff like that. So there are some natural components. I'm all for that. I think those are great. And you can still use that to soothe your skin and to help nourish your skin. So we're given a lot of things like olive oil, like aloe plants and different things from our plants to use for the health of our skin. I'm all for that, and our diet plays a big role with that too. So there's a path there where you listen to God. God made it, and then there's also some feedback we're getting because man has altered some stuff. We have created an environment um, that we have to just be sensitive to, and so that is also true because we do need to just focus on clean food, clean air, and clean water to really get the best of what God has put together to have our system work the best.
So it's so basic, but at the same time, we get so lost in the minutia
Yeah, exactly.
of what is being said, because it's like, where would you find an organic sunscreen? What does that look like?
They almost all co-ops will have them. So
Okay,
health food stores will have organic sunscreens.
okay,
Yep, they're even carried on Amazon. So that's a good question.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people put organic with sunscreen together,
Yeah. Well,
and
sunscreens are some of the most toxic things we can put on our skin. There's a lot of toxic makeups and lotions that people put on their skin. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a reel that is going around of a gentleman who sprayed off,
mm,
which has DEET, which is banned in some countries, sprayed off above his uh, outdoor garden, to get rid of some mosquitoes that were around there while he was gardening, and it killed the plants.
wow,
So then he went and did a little experiment and did it on his weeds in his driveway, and it killed the grass and the weeds on it that was growing in the driveway. And so just by spraying it with off, and this is being sprayed on kids and
yes,
adults.
wow.
Yeah.
Here's your sign.
Yeah, good sign there. So what else are we putting on ourselves? Anytime you put something in your mouth or on your body, you need to look at it and say, if it has so many chemical names in it, or names you don't understand, unless it's a natural herbal, it you have to just kind of take that away. anything has a laundry list of ingredients usually is not good. So the stuff that's good for us usually comes with just one or two things on the to maybe five on the actual ingredients list.
Very good. And here's the thing that I know from being a nurse is that most people don't look at their skin as an organ. They think of their heart, their lungs, their
Yeah,
joints, but they don't think of their skin being the biggest and largest, obviously, organ that we have on our body that is basically probably the greatest tattletailer
it is.
for all of us, right?
Yep, absolutely. It's our largest organ in the body, and it is part of the immune system. It's part of our defense system, and it actually, there's evidence that the bacteria that's on the skin on the outside actually has a language that's communicating with the bacteria in your gut.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so there's an actual, they're able to measure this now. So there's a communication process between our skin and our gut.
Well, it makes sense when you think about it because you are what you eat.
Yeah, you are
And
what you don't eliminate.
exactly. And your
Yeah,
skin will let you know if it's being able to eliminate even through the pores. And they don't
yeah.
think of that. They think of their colon versus the skin.
Yeah, and we've seen historically when we have people with like severe gluten or food sensitivities, and we pull them off of that, their psoriasis clears up, or their inflamed skin clears up, their redness clears up. So that's a direct path and link. And there's something in the development of how we're made, there's something called embryologic homologs, which means that they come from a same or similar tissue, and as they grow, they differentiate into other tissues. So the lining of the gut basically is the same as the lining of the sinuses, and then they're like cousins to the skin. So it's like family members just staying in touch long after the fact that they moved away. So even though the cells may start from the same cell that kind of differentiate into different cells at different parts of the body, and they'll still stay in touch, just like family members would. It's
Interesting.
called embryologic homologs.
Say that 3 times.
Yeah, no.
It's like, wow. Embryologic what? Hydro what?
Oh, yes, exactly. Embryologic homologs. There you go.
Homologs. Say that
Homologs.
5 times.
Yes.
Homologs. That's a good one for everybody to embryonic homologs.
Embryologic homologs. Yes.
All right. Well, that's an awesome couple words there. I'm not
Yes.
sure that I know embryonic, but homolog
Yes.
is what's throwing me off.
Yep.
Wow. So that's incredible. I mean, again, your skin we take for granted, I think, in general.
Absolutely. Yep.
And people don't, respect it when they're in the sun or like you said, slathering 100 proof, right? I don't even know, what is it, SPV or whatever, I
Yeah.
can't
Yep. Yes.
remember.
Yeah.
And that more is not better in this
No.
situation.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. So I think that there's a lot to obviously be learned about the skin being the biggest organ, and people take it for granted.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's the telltale of what's going on in our insides, of
Yep.
what's coming out or what we need to do. And hydration, obviously, during this time of the year, especially, people are doing everything that you have shared with us, probably wrong. I mean, with the 100 proof of sun protection and not drinking enough, and we're definitely maybe not exercising because it's too hot,
Yes. Yep.
so they're not sweating.
Yeah.
So for the rest of
Exactly.
the story,
The last thing I want to kind of end on is I get this question a lot, and it's all about the hydrogen waters. So I wanted to bring this up because they're kind of all the rage right now.
right?
And hydrogen waters, actually, there's a lot of research showing us that it's quite beneficial for us. So the pH of our body is very, very important um, to it's kind of like we're kind of like a battery, really. And so our body's pH, like an acid, you can actually create energy from a good pH like a battery does. And hydration is part of that. So a lot of our cells are just electrical in nature. And a cell will start, or an organ will start to decline when its electrical negativity, when its electrical status starts to decline.
Mm.
They actually can measure it in millivolts, the change from like a 70 millivolt healthy cell down to a 20 millivolt cancer cell, and even beyond. So our ability to carry an electric charge regulates that. Hydrogen is very much associated with pH, and pH is just basically a liquid electric current. So there's electric current like an electric wire,
Mhm,
and we
mhm.
have sodium potassium pumps, and we have an electron transport chain. Our cells are very electric, and so the hydrogen water can help with that. So in helping with your electric currents, it can reduce degenerative disease. It can help with heart disease and diabetes. It can help reset a lot of the metabolism things. So I'm actually a fan of the hydrogen waters right now. I don't endorse any company at this time. I'm investigating a lot of different ones, but some people I really uh, admire as far as their ability to discern information have landed on a couple products, because they have hydrogen water bottles and things like that, where you put water in, and it creates it as hydrogen water. So there's a lot of potential benefit with it, and when used well with a good diet and lifestyle, it can offset some of the challenges that we've seen in our as our battery gets low. And a lot of us feel that we're feeling sluggish, and our
Right.
battery goes low. And the pH of your body is a big part of that, and the hydrogen water actually helps with that.
Wow. So, and is there one that's better than the other, or is it doesn't matter?
There is probably so, but I haven't discerned through that, because they sell them as bottles right now, and so I don't have an answer for that yet. I'm actively looking at the different ones, and I'll land on one by the end of the year here at some point, but and
Mm.
endorse one. But I'm not at that point yet. I have to do my vetting.
That's okay. That's good. But that's why we have you, is we know that it's not just something pulled out of the air. That you definitely research and make sure that, like you said, discerning what's good and what is bad and what we should use and what we should stay away from.
Yep.
So this is all about the bottle that they would purchase versus buying it at a, gas station on the,
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
refrigerator, that people think that that's what is good.
Yeah, no, you want to get the one that at home that you can make all the time on the go. One single dose is not going to do much for you. It's the daily and the routine and the over time scenarios that's going to give you the bang for the buck. And people will notice improved workouts, in better endurance, reduce stress on the body. So it can help with a lot of different things.
Well, that's exciting. And I'll be excited to hear your research after you've tried out a number of them or looked at them and see
Yeah.
what the best one for all of us. So, well, this has been incredibly awesome. I mean, hydration and sunscreen and exercise, even when it's hot, and what that can do. And obviously, our skin being the largest organ and how we need to protect it. And obviously, having some solutions with the staying away from the seed oils, which
Yes.
such an important thing. In fact, I'm so grateful that you've helped me personally moving and looking at labels and looking at canola oil will kill us. And
Yeah.
after doing my elimination program, obviously, I can tell, because I feel like my GI system's been purified. And so then
Yes.
put in canola oil in it, and it's like, okay, I think I'm going to be really, really sick.
Yeah.
So I can be the testimony for you to get away from that stuff. And obviously, coconut oil, avocado oil, and olive oil are the three go-tos. So I am so grateful, as always, for the knowledge that you have and that you share with us. And most people don't even think about like slathering the sunscreen on the kids. And
Yeah.
and prayerfully, people will take this to heart and start doing their own due diligence by reading labels and obviously
Yes.
looking at what's best. So, Dr. Spurrill, once again, you hit it over the fence in sharing your heart and your information. And I'm so grateful that you are always so willing to share the knowledge with people and obviously giving them, the information that they can make an informed decision for their best self. And so go to officialsynapse.com, hit that discovery call, have your own personal interview with Dr. Spurrill, who can help you discern and obviously feel better and get healed if there's something that's already affecting you. So I just want to say thank you again, and please go to katie-huff.com and follow us on all of the platforms that we've talked about, from Spotify to YouTube, and subscribe. And I look forward to having you all back to learn more about being healthy and healed through Synapse, the Center for Healing and Health. Thank you, Dr. Spurrill.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Katie Huff with Katie Huff Ministries, and this is Bella Jean, and we're coming to you today to talk to you about setting yourself free by having first a great night's sleep. How's that going to happen? By using MyPillow. MyPillow has incredible products. Bella Jean even has her own dog bed and loves it. She sleeps well at night, so do we. Because we also have the topper, we have the pillows, we've used the sheets, we have the towels, and we even have the slippers. So we are a family that loves MyPillow as much as my Bella Jean, and I'm hoping that your dog will love it as much as ours, and that you'll go to mypillow.com/unmasked. Again, that's mypillow.com/unmasked, and you'll get incredible discounts for your family to be setting themselves free to having a great night's sleep and having an amazing holiday season with MyPillow products. Thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Katie Huff with Katie Huff Ministries, and I'm coming to talk to you today about setting yourself free. And what that means is it begins with taking control of your finances. So I was unfortunately introduced to a number of different financial planners that really didn't put me before their profit. And I'm glad to say that Kirk Elliott, PhD, their philosophy is people over profits. They don't rush you. They have a holistic approach. They took my SEP, they invested it into gold and silver, which obviously is diversifying. It may be for you, it may not, but I will tell you this, KirkElliottPhD.com/unmasked, they will go beyond making you comfortable and knowing where your money's going. And so I would just say, take control of your finances. Go to KirkElliottPhD/unmasked for a discount and great advice and peace of mind that you'll have.